What's gonna happen with retail over the next 7 to 10 years is gonna be so massively disruptive that I wonder, you wanna talk about catching a trend? It's the conversation of the next 20 years. I mean, the Lord & Taylor's, the Toys R Us, these are the previews. These are not anomalies. These are previews. I mean, JCPenney and Sears have zero chance of being alive. And this is not zero.
And this is where they get it wrong. They think this is a story of internet versus stores.
Correct.
Okay, it's not.
It's not.
Okay, it's much deeper than that.
So you start getting into Lord & Taylor's and Macy's and Bloomingdale's, they've got double pressure. They've got the internet issue, they've got brands going direct to consumer, and more importantly, the brands, their vendors are clearly their competitor, but there's a double-edged sword. I think Ralph Lauren's gonna be out of business in 15 years. Like, these brands are not marketing in Instagram. They still think it's print and other bullshit. And they're, I mean, Uniqlo, I mean, it's, by the way, being in Singapore right after the Uniqlo meeting and seeing Uniqlo everywhere.
But it's almost two-dimensional. You have the stores that are like the Saxes of the world that you ask what's their reason for being. And
That's right.
How do they reinvent themselves? And you have a brick and mortar versus internet versus, you know, how do you provide value to the customer? Then you have the brands. The brands actually can survive. You know, some of them are doing really well.
100%.
You know, the question
they have the most
is,
upside.
Yeah, they can do very well if, in fact, they learn how to market to this new consumer.
Right. The problem is
the old brands have a hard time.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is, you know, whether you're old or new, it's just your behavior, right?
Yeah.
I always tell people, I'm like, look, there's 68-year-old executives who are a hell of a lot more intuitive to what's going on than 26-year-olds that I know. Like, it's unbelievable how much, this is a game right now of have and have-nots.
Oh, I call it the winners and losers.
That's it.
It's the same thing.
That's it.
Spotify.
I'm a big believer. Spotify, I love. You know when
See, people you have to talk to is the next gen people. Because my son, for
yeah,
example,
you're too old. You need to find.
Yeah, but you got 20. You have to
No,
have 20.
can I tell you why Spotify though? It's actually not because kids listen to it or anything of that nature. There's not a lot of companies on earth that have that many credit cards getting recurring revenue each month. Their ability to add OTT, Spotify tomorrow starts doing videos on music. If Spotify tomorrow did behind the music and did 1-hour documentaries of every emerging artist, they would get an extra $10 a month from everybody as the OTT. I have some real ideas for them. Let's go. I think there's an overestimation and overfocus on hustle and work your face off, which I'm very proud of and very passionate about. But I don't think there's as much focus on, you know, empathy and gratitude and give more than you take and perspective, which is stop focusing on dumb shit. So I was a little strategic on the sneaker. Minnesota, Middle America, you know, I have a funny idea. I want my book event in Minnesota during Super Bowl weekend to be the biggest event attended, because that's just funny and ridiculous. So we will be doing that. So be prepared for Saturday, February 3rd in Minnesota, a ridiculous book launch. If you're in the Minnesota area, if you're flying into Minnesota, if you want to be a part of amassing thousands of people into one place so that everybody's like, what football legend is there? No, this is Garyvee's book party. I want to upend and disrupt Super Bowl. So let's do that. GaryVaynerchuk.com/Super Bowl event. Fill out the form if you want to be part of the crew to help. Not because you just want to help, because you're going to be in Minnesota and you can drive people to the event. Or have got some idea how. Hey Alex, how are you?
Good. I was supposed to go today.
Vayner Nation, Alex is here. It's overambition and substantial humility. And so I've been able to articulate, at least for me, in a comfortable manner of like clouds and dirts. Like, have big goals, like go for it, be smart, really be thoughtful, but always be humble and execute and stay in the trenches, always be a practitioner in your craft. Those themes matter to me. What matters at the end of the day is if you agree with me binarily that it's happening here, now the question becomes, what are you gonna do about it? First thing you need to do is everybody in here needs to take a step back and get really self-aware really quickly. Because self-awareness and empathy are the two pillars that will make you successful. These are the two things I do that nobody sees because of my persona, because of other alpha characteristics I have. They're the disguised superpowers that have gotten me here today. But the reality is, a long time ago, through amazing parenting and the serendipity of being an immigrant at the right time, I got real self-aware real fast and started triple downing on what I was versus pandering to everybody else. And so the security and confidence and all the other things that were put into me allowed me to be good at this game for the last 10 years. And the reason I'm stressing such an EQ kind of fluffy thing to you, it is the framework that will allow you to be successful. It is strategy. Either you have the right strategy or you have the wrong one. Too many kids under 30 want to get there so fast, and it breaks them because they shortcut and they create the vulnerabilities that don't allow them to get there. So I would have just looked my 18-year-old self in the face and said, your intuitions are right. Do this, do that, exactly right. You'll be real happy.
Thank you.
You got it. Thank you, guys. Okay, bye-bye. All right, bye-bye. Hey, brother.
Sorry to bug you, man.
No worries,
All
brother.
right.
How are you?
I'm well. I just moved here from Indiana on Thursday.
Congrats.
Thank you. I was hoping to maybe get some time from you whenever you got some free time, sit down and BS with you.
Okay, well, you do me a favor. Send me an email right now.
Okay.
In the title, put I'm the guy from Indiana.
Okay.
Tell me what's on your mind.
Okay.
And then I'll try to get you a date in January when I actually have openings.
Man, that's awesome.
Awesome, man. Real
I appreciate
pleasure.
you,
Good luck
brother.
to you, brother.
Thank you very
Take
much.
care. Brand wins every time.
Yeah.
And they're kissing cousins. Like all the skills that make somebody great at something that we would all argue is on the other side of the tracks, it's the same shit. It's why I love talking to kids in like urban, underprivileged demos. I'm like, dude, the same way you sell weed is the same way you can build a $100 million company. It's the same fucking game. The same way my friends sold fucking CDs from the back of, it's the same game. It's just the framework, right? And the same way, whether it's courses or offers or whatever it is, it's patience. And really you guys have the advantage because you can wait a little bit longer because you've got something in place.
Yeah.
So there's a very intriguing time when make that jump.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hire every discipline.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
I will.
have written content every day, audio content, your podcast will kill.
Yeah.
And again, remember, watch what I'm doing, not what I'm saying. Clearly, you said a lot's taken from me.
Yeah.
Why did I care about my podcast and rebranded the audio experience? Like, why did that happen? Not for my health. It's because I believed in the medium, and since I rebranded it, now I'm a top 100 podcast without ever doing a podcast. Don't hire for skill, or don't train for skill. Train for mindset. Make sure when you start adding people that, Iris, why am I hot on Iris? To give her a compliment. I think she's got skills, but when I look at her and watch her, she has intuitive communication skills which can be deployed against anything. When you have the taste, you can be a chef of any meal if you have the mindset to be open, to not say you're just a sous chef of sushi, but you can also be a classically trained French chef as long as you're open. So please, 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 first and foremost, this is the most important thing I can tell you. As you start evolving, it's about being open and nimble and excited about change, which is a very rare commodity for an employee because they were taught to garner a skill and trade on it. If you're talking about what I'm up to, which is fucking all time, it's in those subtle fucking margins.
Well, to your point on that too, like after all those presentations you've had so far today, I was gonna go out and hire for the 5 skilled team members I need in order to chop up and do pillar content and all that kind of stuff. Instead of, again, this is the value of the nuance and the detail of talking to people who've done it and played the game, and they go, no, go and hire for the attitude for the kid who's hungry enough to come and want to do work for you for free throughout the year. And they'll get the skill.
The skill is a commodity.
Yeah.
The mindset is everything.
That's the inside scoop.
Emily appropriately realized that see ya and got it is the same exact thing, actually. Of that, am I doing Nate and Trout after this tonight? Okay, can you put that in the schedule? Holy shit, I flew back from Singapore with that dude. He's an architect. He was just some random guy.
Awesome.
All right, that was super weird. This is cool.
I love it. Is failure important?
On a bigger macro, patience and failure, they all ladder up to one thing, which is insecurity. The reason people don't put themselves in a position to fail, the reason people aren't patient, is they value other people's opinions too much, which then dictates their behavior, which then gets into all of this. Realizes if you, like, don't hold on to it with the thought of in case it fails, because you just need to realize it's your scarlet letter. Literally the reason people are scared, always, is the outside force. Having a failing business and everyone's like, oh, see, you could never do, or whatever the cliche shit is, right?
Yeah.
It just doesn't fucking matter. You know why? So that's one piece.
Yeah. But they told me I couldn't do this. It'll never happen.
And even if it didn't succeed, what? They're such better people? Like what, I'm such a better person than other people because I can build a business? That's bullshit.
Yeah. But it's not listening to other people. I have my
That's it. If you told me it's too big to fail, I'm like, that makes sense. But if you also told me 4 years from now, it doesn't play, I'm like, okay, Lyft or Google or Apple or self-driving, like, I don't feel like it's too big to fail. First of all, I don't think anybody's too big to fail. The only company that I could say I feel 100% is here in 10 years is Amazon and Facebook if Mark and Bezos are running it.
Our amazing speaker, Garyvee.
Thank you. Yo, yo. Thanks for coming out. Jesus, what's up? I like those seats up there.
What are some of the things that do keep you going and motivates you and pushes you?
Gratitude. 100% gratitude. The fact that I'm even a human being. I don't want to be a rhinoceros. Seriously, like, what do you think's going on here? No, I mean it. I take shit in a super macro. Like, I'd much rather be me than this fucking ugly green carpet. Kidding, I was just wanted to make a joke about the carpet. I love green. I made my shoes green. Like, but you know what? You know, like, what's the alternative? Like, being blessed with the 400, you know, I love this 400 trillion to one. I know some of you know it. Like, so you've been blessed with a life. I get it. You weren't born into a rich family. You're the wrong skin tone. You're this, you're that. I get it. But fuck, just we got the at bat. You won the lotto. You won it. You've got the at bat. Do something with it, especially now. Your grandparents didn't have this. The internet is crazy shit. It just is. It just is. And so, why do you think everybody's getting outed now? Because 3 old white guys don't control the media anymore. The fuck do you think is happening here? This is the greatest era ever for anybody. The market, the platform is the internet. This is unbelievable, unprecedented times. We will look back at this 200 years from now like these fuckers had a good opportunity. This is buying real estate. Do you know somebody bought the land that we're on right now for $1 at one point? That's what's happening with us on the internet. The attention of the end consumer is cheap right now. You can grab it around whatever the fuck you want to be about, and it doesn't cost you anything other than your time. And so many of you are complaining, but then are too fancy to put in the 15 hours a day to get it. I got no respect for that. I got no respect for anybody who complains and isn't putting in the work. Because it's an excuse to not do. And let me tell you on this issue, and I see some of you get it, you could trick 99% of the losers, but you're not tricking the 1%. So the only people listening to your bullshit are the other losers in your circle. It's truth. Straight fucking facts to the face. Only person listening to your bullshit are the people you surround yourself that are losers too. Don't complain. Nobody's listening. Nobody that matters. Your mom has to listen. But let me give you an update. She thinks you're a loser too. I just want to try to buy the Jets way more than buying the Jets. Like, if I pull this shit off, shit's gonna get crazy. Like, and it's crazy because I really feel like I'm going to. It's like, I laugh at how much I actually think. Forget about, listen, to amass the wealth to do it is ironically funny to me. That's the part that I'm most confident about. I'm most confident that I'll have the money. Does that time well when the Johnson family wants to sell it? What happens in culture? Forget about making the money. The fact that I have the audacity and the optimism that not only will I amass the wealth, but that specific team, like I don't want to buy the Bengals, you know, like. So it's so crazy how it plays out in my head, but here's the best part, and you'll be there to see it. If I don't, I'm having so much fun and so much happiness trying to get it and trying to pull all of you up along the way while I'm trying to get it. Fuck, if one of you get it, I would love that because then it would happen on merit. You were good enough. The thought that maybe the next owner was built from something I created would be so batshit crazy, you know? And I've also got a super secret plan, and I'll share it here today for the first time. I figure if I can get every single person in America to really give a fuck about me getting the Jets, that when they become available, if I'm not ready financially, I'm gonna crowdsource the fuck out of it.
Being the Gary that you are today.
Okay.
And you can face yourself 25 years.
Talk to my 17-year-old self.
Yeah, and you can say something to yourself for only 10 seconds. What would it be?
You're gonna be right. You know? That's what I would say, man. I did everything the way I want. I'm so proud of how I did this. And I haven't even started, but like, I ate shit. Like, I just don't, you just don't get it. You will only get it if you know somebody that knows me during that time. You'll only know me if you know somebody I went to high school with, and they'll tell you that every weekend of my entire fucking high school life, all of them, I worked 13 hours a day. That every fucking summer vacation day when everybody did shit and went to the Jersey Shore and hooked up, I fucking worked. You'll only know if you actually saw my tax return only 10 years ago, because I didn't make any fucking money because I was building a legacy, doing the right thing, building skills, being patient. I only give advice that I took. I only eat my own dog food. And so I would tell him, you're gonna do it right. Thank you guys. I just wanna see how good I can be. I don't know what else to say, man. I've only known this game, you know? I just wanna see how good I can do. Like, I like building businesses. I like, deploying my thoughts. And just, I feel like my intent is in a good place. I feel good about myself. I feel good about it. And it's curiosity. Like, I love working. I love producing impact. I love producing products. I love challenging myself to seeing how well I do understand culture and attention and the game. And like, it runs the gamut. And I want to build the infrastructure for all the things that matter for me in the next 40 years, right? So it's just playing the game. Hey, thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Jump safe.
Thank you.